everybody. This is Carmen with Carmen's Legacy Productions and Carmen Speaks. Today we are going to talk about some various public speaking topics. Today is on notes. And so this is a question that came out at a recent Public Speakers Association regional meeting of our Round Rock and Georgetown group. And we meet every fourth Tuesday of the month from 11:30 to 1 at the Legacy Georgetown. And we've got a great group of people. It's a low stress way of learning about speaking in public and getting to practice in front of a group that has your back. And so that you can be comfortable standing in front of an audience of one or thousands and get your point of view across. So we have a lot of fun. We also have a Zoom meeting on the second Monday of the month at 6 o'clock Central Time, which you are welcome to join. All right, so the question for today is, can I use notes? Can I use notes when I speak? And so I want to say a couple different things about that. So one, definitely when you're first starting out, notes are oftentimes a crutch. And it's a crutch so that you feel better that if you happen to have a deer in the headlights look, we've all had it, and you forget what you're going to say, that you can just kind of spend a little bit of time looking at your notes and refreshing your memory. So with that, it's going to happen. It's okay. It's happened to everybody. And it's how you kind of handle that that makes the difference. So if having notes is your way, then that's okay. But I would look at it as a very, very short-term fix. Some ways to get around that. All right, so if you've got PowerPoint slides or for Mac users, Keynote, there's a way to have notes along the side. So that's one thing. Honestly, you really have very little time to get your thoughts together, to stop and to look at your notes and to go, oh, yeah. And that is probably more nerve-wracking than it is to just pause, take a breath, and then go on to where you're talking. If your bullet points on your slides or such, it should just flow for you, because the key thing is to practice, 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 so that that talk of yours, that talk that you're giving, is so familiar to you that you don't really even need your slides to do it, okay? And that happens with practice, and practice in front of people, practice in front of your dogs or your cat. Just practice the talk until it feels comfortable for you. And so if you've got slides that have bullet points on them, you could go for that, and that's usually enough to trigger the memory for what you're going to be saying. So even if you have a deer in the headlight look, you could take a look at that slide and quickly know what it is you're going to talk about. Sometimes images in between might trigger you to a story if you want to tell a story. We talked about in the last video and how to integrate a story into your talk. And so that's one other way. So notes are, probably not necessary for very long, but if it makes you feel good when you begin, if it comes between having notes and speaking and not speaking at all, draw in your notes. Will the audience think less of you because you have notes? I don't know. I mean, I've seen TED Talks where people have notes and they're using them for their TED Talk. So I have to say no. But I want to say I think the talks go a little bit smoother when we're not stopping to look at notes. It feels like it's a little bit more from the heart and is just real, and we're just talking more conversational, and it feels more comfortable and flows. So think about that and think about what you might like to do. And, you need notes, bring your notes. Do it until you get comfortable. And if you always use notes, but you give wonderful speeches, well, so be it. Bring your notes. If you can do without, go for it. And because I do think that the smoother, more conversational, the better. In the beginning, I always had notes, and I can tell you they were always smeared because my palms got sweaty. and I had cards in my hand and they got all smeared and sweaty, and I never looked at it. But it felt good to have them in my hand is what the thing was. And so now if we're using slides, often we have a clicker, or if you just walk over to your computer, this is another trick that I recently used, and that there wasn't a clicker. And so I had to kind of walk over to my laptop and just press the next button. And it gave me a second to take a breath. And it was a natural second as I walked over and did that. And I was still talking, and I just kind of meandered over and would click the next slide, but it did give me time for a breath. And so maybe look for substitutes for your notes. Hope that helps you, and hope to see you at the next meeting. There's a link to Eventbrite there, so please RSVP, just because there's food and snacks. And it's the last Tuesday of the month at 11:30 to 1. And then the Zoom meeting is the second Monday of the month at 6 o'clock. And we'll have different information there. So one's not a substitute for the other, but certainly if you're live far away and you can't make the Tuesday meeting, this is a good option for you too. All right, take care, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.